Hi. Nope, I hate that. Hi. Originally, this was going to be about relationships, but instead, I'm going to make it about this. Why? Don't worry about it. Not everything has to be perfect. Not everything has to be done immediately. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We're fine. Alright. So, Digimon. Alright. Let's start. First things first. Takuya. He's our leader, and he's the first one that's gonna get it. He's the basic bitch of the group. Like, everything has to be quick, simple, for the viewer to immediately understand. Which is why his is, like, kind of boring. But, like, it does what it needs to do. First shot of his face is great. Then, you know, it's always the basic premise of, like, going for the arms, the legs, and then syncing it all together, like, in the middle. Which I never knew, but they all, like, kind of squish him in. You know, one side's the back, the other side's the forward. They squish it. I thought that was cute. But, yeah, that's whatever. Koji's is also B. Kind of regular. Not really, like, bad. It's not bad. Nothing really to add on there. Tommy, I put in also in B. There's going to be a lot of B's. Like, it's not terrible, it's not great, it's just kind of there. Plus, this is like 2007, 2008. Pre-2010, let's put it that way. Not a lot to go for there. But I think Tommy's is good, just because when you get to the shot of them fusing together, you get a full body shot of him being like this, which I think is good, just like for perspective in general. Zoe is a solid A. The one weird thing she does is that when she says execute to perform the function, she says execute because girl. But I think hers is one of the better ones. I think because she's the only girl of the group, the animators had to do a little bit more uniqueness for her. The only thing I don't like is the panty shot. I don't know why they added a panty shot. It just seems weird. But overall, I love the shot of just her, like, towards the beginning, as the sequence goes, it darkens and you see her hair move in the background. Just because it adds a lot more, it makes her feel more alive. Alright, JP is B. He's fine. He's unfortunately one of the more boring ones, but what can you do? You know, the more I look at him, the more he reminds me of Bolin. Just body-wise, which I don't know if that's a mean thing to say or not. I hope not. But yeah, it's not bad, not great, it's B. Now, Koichi, he has what I call Sixth Ranger type shit, where his transformation is distinct from the others to where it's his own thing, but it still follows the same train of sequence. With his, it's a little bit more different. He wasn't bad. He's not bad, but something about the way he says, like he's praying or something, or he's at least going nuts about it in a way that's like, okay, you have fun with that. Takuya's Beast Spirit Evolution. I would give that an A. I think it's really good. My only gripe is the way, so with all Beast Spirit evolutions, they like, the person in question that does it, they like scream, they like yell to like represent like, oh, I'm going to be more primal or something. Which is fine, but for some of them, it's really weird. It just sounds really awkward, and I hate it. And Takuya is one of them. It just, for us to see, it's just him like basically going into hell. And he's just, like, one of his next evolutions does a much better idea on like the screen. So yeah, it's A in that it's good, but it could have been better. Koichi's, nope, Koji. But Koji's is also B. Same premise. I think what I like about his though is that when he transforms, the camera cuts back to like him like showing like a full body, and then he like covers himself up as the strands of data, fractal code, that was the word, as the fractal code like spirals about him really fast. That I did like. What I don't like is that he doesn't talk. He doesn't like scream or anything. And the reason I have a gripe about that is, for one, that's how all the beast spirit evolutions went, and two, his takes the form of a wolf. Yeah, a wolf. And the thing I don't like about that, and they actually did, is that in the original sequence in the show, so when he actually transforms, right after, especially the first time, right after, he howls like a wolf. And I wish that they did that in the sequence to both make him seem unique, just like this is his shtick gimmick, because like with all the transformations, they have like a gimmick to them that's like really supposed to represent either their element or the warrior that they are. Not in the metaphorical sense, but in the literal sense of like what attributes they're taking out of. And like with him, I wish he would howl. Granted, it would look weird, or it would sound weird, just because of how the sequence is supposed to go, but like it would still be nice. I would like it. JP, oh my god, JP, you are It's not bad. It's not bad, but I feel like the electricity like sound effects are like a little dulled down. I wish it was a lot loud, like there was a louder bass to it, but granted, the end when it like goes back to their face and like the quote unquote mask starts to come in, that looks great. He looks terrifying, but it's just, that's about it, and it really sucks. Alright, then we have Zoe. Zoe's S. It is fantastic. It is amazing. Once again, I think it's because she's the only girl in the group. They had to do like extra oomph for her. I truly love her sequence. Both the way she like yells, I hate the way I'm using that word, but the way she yells and like the way it goes out after. Once it starts, you immediately see her like cradling herself as the camera pans back and shows like the flurry of, I was gonna say sakura petals, because I'm thinking of fucking Bleach. Anyways, yes, you see the petals not spiral. Spiral is not the word I'm looking for. But her voice really echoes. And yeah, the camera pans back to like show her like her scream is both amazing and it feels appropriate, and you really just see her like struggle as she fully transforms. Once again though, another panty shot, which I don't get why. But whatever. The one thing that I found hilarious was on rewatching it a couple months back was that on the final sequence when it shows like her quote unquote face, there's like a choker-esque part of her outfit that is put in like at the end. But the thing that's really funny is that it's from the top of the frame and it just clicks down, and it looks so funny. Like it looks like the animators are like, shit, we got to put this in there, but like we already made everything else. How the fuck are we gonna put it? Just drag it down. It's like, okay, and that's what they did. And then of course, her landing and just being absolutely beautiful, and it's just very smooth, smooth frame rate, at least for both the era and in my opinion. I fucking hate that word. I hate that line. In my opinion. Whatever. Anyways. Yes. Zoe's is just, hers are the best. Why the panty shots? Tommy's was B. It's not bad. I really like the idea of using like the tendrils of Korikakumon. Not even tendrils. Dreadlocks? We'll go with dreadlocks. I like the idea of the dreadlocks being like the one that anytime the dreadlocks will like move within the frame, basically it's like trying to like do makeshift fur, and that's what, so like before fur, after fur is my face where anything like Tommy's arm or whatever. But basically that's what it was doing. And I liked that idea. I think it was fine. What really makes this one good is that towards the end, towards the final part of the transformation sequence, the camera is like tilted to the side, and you see Tommy with this like really like devious face. It's like, all of them for the most part, they have like this crazy-esque smile. Only exception is Zoe, because you just see her eyes. Still looks fantastic, but girl. Anyways. Because girl. But Tommy's was good. Especially that ending sequence is really the only reason why it works good. Takuya's fusion evolution. Now, to circle back, I think a lot of people know about this show. Is Takuya and Koji, I'm always going to forget that. They have like the even more to them. Like, after a certain point, I would say like after the midway point, the other three, they're just kind of like shafted. Well, the other four, they get shafted. And then it's just Koji and Takuya for the rest of it. Which, yeah, I get frustrated about too. And the fusion evolution, that's what we're going to now. It's not dumb, but it feels like a little extra, just because of what they're able to do later. It feels a little extra. And to that, I do agree with. And for people to say, like, oh, I wish the other three got their fusion evolutions. And while I don't disagree with that, they're not the greatest. Like, I don't know why, but Takuya's and Koji's are the most appropriate. They look, for the most part, they look like a fusion of their two spirits. And it looks good. The other three are just weird looking. Like, Tommy's is a penguin. Zoe's also looks actually pretty appropriate, except she has propeller nipples, which I think is hilarious. And then JP is a beetle, which kind of works, but... And then Koichi's he's like a weird sphinx, but that's neither here nor there. It's just like, it for them, it doesn't look right, and not in the sense of like, because they're not the main characters. It just doesn't look right because the designs did not feel like they were for the show. Which I still don't like, because it still doesn't, they just got shafted, and I hate that they got shafted. But you know what? It's whatever. Anyways, moving on. Takuya's fusion evolution. B. So many B's. But yeah, the guitar. The guitar section is it weirdly reminds me of a video game. I forgot what it's called, but it was about an Australian with boomerangs. That is an old game. They need to remake that game. Anyways, yes, Takuya's fusion evolution is fine. Sequence is always really cool. And here's what I mean. Takuya's yell in this one is a lot better than the one for his beast evolution.
Execute now! Fusion evolution! Execute! Beast spirit evolution!
And because of that, I wish they used that one, or at least one with that kind of range emotion, and etc., etc. But unfortunately, they did not, which kind of sucks. But it's whatever. Koji, same thing. It's whatever. I don't. B. You're not failing, but you're not excelling. And then we have, what's it called? Ancient Spirit Evolution? I'm just going to call it the fourth phase. Then we have the fourth phase. Music-wise, it is beautiful. I love it. Anything else is questionable. So this is more of a dub thing, but when so like with every transformation, they always say like execute, unity execute, that's what it's called. Execute, spirit evolution, B spirit evolution, etc., etc. And in this one, it's unity execute. And usually when it comes to dubbing, voice actors try and like either say enough that matches with the character in question, like moving their mouth. In like true lip syncing, that's a little bit more trickier, unless you want to like completely reanimate the mouth so that it matches the English speaking actors. And usually that's not really done. I mean, it is, but like it's not done that often, which I don't blame them for. I do not blame them for. But because of that, and especially because this is in 2007 or 8, whatever, pre-2010, it looks really awkward. Like you really see him not matching the voice line. And it's really funny to me. And because of that, it just kind of like, doesn't ruin it for me, but it's like, I don't treat it as seriously, unfortunately. Which sucks, but it's whatever. But like other than that, it's good. I love it when they get on the graph and like they show like a little aspect of their elements. I lose my mind for that shit. It's like, representation. I still think it's good. The aspect of the flames, I really, really did like. Koji! B. Koji's a B. I have like 9 Bs. Whatever. So, yes, Koji's is good with the whole, his whole shtick is like anything shiny. When you show the diagram, the hexagon, it's like everything is shiny. His is also kind of funny in that the way he yells, he's like, like it just sounds so funny. But what I really liked about his, and for some reason I saw this more with him than with Takuya's, is that when it gets to the final sequence, basically how it goes is like, the spirits would hit like a main component of the body, arms, legs, and the last one, it hits him in the face. And what's interesting is that with his, when he strikes him, you actually see the outline of like his own face, not of the Digimon that he becomes. It's him first. And it's like, it's a very like clean outline. And I love it, but I don't get why it was for him and not for Takuya. Like, I guess granted with Takuya, he's like bashed in flames throughout as the sequence keeps going. So I guess like that's like the counter side, because Koji is just fast and might. So I guess I can't complain, but whatever. Not technically last one. So it's the ancient spirit evolution. And in the way that the show is, it starts out with Takuya and Koji first. Like, it's just them two that transform into Susanoo. But later, I fucking hate that game. But it's just them two, and because it's just them two, there's actually like a dub edit, because in the original like animation, the way that the sequence went was that the boys would be have the transformation background, and it's basically their clothes being like ripped off, and like having their spirits and like those connected surrounding them, and then same with the other, it's literally like they're like this, and like you see their clothes really rip off. It's weirdly cool. But yes, that's how it originally went, and then it would go to the regular sequence. But when it was transferred to America, they cut that part out. because it didn't have like nudity, but their clothes were being ripped off. You wouldn't see anything, but their clothes were being ripped off. And to that I say, you know what, that's a little fair. Just a little. But yes, that one, it's just, I don't know. It feels a little lackluster. Now, in context, it's pretty good. But like, for the most part, it's a little lackluster. But yeah, but what really makes it good is the last one. I think it's the last one. It's the last one where everyone does it. And I lose my mind about it because it's like it's everyone working together, and I'm a sucker for team stuff like that. Like, you know how in Power Rangers when it's like the final battle and everyone transforms, it's like there's like the explosions of color in the background and the actual explosion. I forgot what it's called. It's called like the explosion era. It's a little bit annoying, but that's a whole other conversation. But I as a kid, I lost my mind to it. I'm like, fuck yeah. Just because like they're all posing and shit. I loved it. Anyways, yes, this one of the 5 of them, it's a solid S because they all work together, and they did a little speech at the end, and I just thought it was really cute, and I really liked it. So yes. So what did we learn out of this list? 1, girl is best girl, because girl is only girl. Japan really likes panties, and I have more to learn. That's all. Go to therapy. Bye. I finally said it. I said the thing I wanted to be my thing.